Weekly warm up. It's the weekly warm up. I got just Jim in the studio today. Brian is just breaking his back and mind doing other editing work. Chad has a child who's being older tomorrow and can't be bothered to be here because he has to prepare mentally to subject himself to Frozen 2. Bud, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm very good. So, our buddy Chad is seeing Frozen 2 tomorrow, and it got me thinking. On Reddit, there was a post, and it was, what would you see in a dark Pixar universe? And so I completely sprung that on you. We haven't talked about this in the whole time that you've been here, but I wanted to see if there's any storylines that you had thought of that you would like. Some of the ones I saw submitted were the background of what happens to the people who got left behind on Wall-E, Cars, but Mad Max. Somebody wanted a Sid spin-off movie from Toy Story. And then I think probably the darkest one was an addict slash PTSD person in Inside Out with like the feelings in the mind, which just sounds like a nightmare, like the Cube type movie to me, but whatever. Anything from Pixar that you would think like, oh, like it doesn't necessarily be horror, just like a dark version of it.
Oh, I don't know.
I've completely blitzkrieged you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you threw out so many. I mean, I like the Sid one.
Yeah.
The Sid one would be.
Could be dark.
Yeah.
Do it like Boxing dark. Helena, which I know you don't know, but
no,
it's a movie. There's a guy who cuts off a woman's arms and legs so she can't leave him. There's a great Misfits song about it. If I cut off your arms and I cut off your legs, would you still love me anyway? And you're bound and you're gagged, draped, and displayed. Would you still, yeah. Going through just like the Pixar movies that come to mind, there's The Good Dinosaur. So I guess you could watch the extinction of the dinosaurs.
That was actually a really good movie.
You liked it.
I thought it was funny.
It was so bland to me. I couldn't get into it.
I think because I didn't sit down to watch it and like watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay, that helps.
So I've caught like certain parts of it on TV. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty dang funny. Like,
yeah, I like the idea. I came up with the one. It's Moana, but it's from the perspective of Maui when he's having the castaway moment, where it's just him yelling at a fucking coconut with his bloody handprint on it.
Etching another line on the rock.
Right. Knocking out his teeth with an ice skate, right? That's what's in Castaway, yeah. I think. So, any other Pixar movies? There's Tangled. I guess you could do something about her.
That's Pixar?
Disney Pixar? Doesn't that count?
Well, it's Disney.
Well, I mean, if you could go to the Ice Queen, which is what Frozen is based off, that has a dark story in and of itself. Right. Now you have me second guessing if I can't do Rapunzel. Because Rapunzel, I mean, it actually has like a dark origin. If we want to get into broader Disney, I mean, you can get into like The Little Mermaid, and it's like, oh god, I don't want to cry. She turns into sea foam. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, she dies. It sucks. The sisters from Cinderella get their fucking toes and heels cut off their feet so they can fit in the glass slipper. All those things are fucked, man. Snow White gives birth because the prince has sex with her while she's in a coma. Yeah, it's like none of those things are good at all. When I was teaching, I they had this thing where they found a bunch of like 400-year-old Germanic folk tales, and one of them involved like a potato and a crystal, and I mean it wasn't a potato, it was a turnip, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I was teaching it to people who were predominantly Korean speakers learning English. They're like, this is just a bad idea. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what's interesting about the Disney movies is they're all the underlying stories are fucked up.
Well, and you gotta love our generation gets Lion King, where people are like, oh, it's the first original Disney movie, and we're like, Hamlet, Kimba the White Lion.
Kimba,
Anybody? Come on, dog. Jesus, that's rough. So we're about 4 minutes in, and I feel like I've talked the whole time. So this is your monologue,
man. So you remember last week when we had this, and you were wearing a different jersey?
I was.
How did that game turn out?
Did not turn out as well as I hoped. But the thing is, I knew that it would happen. So the Kings being my second favorite hockey team, it works out.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You win and you lose a little, or you win and you lose a little.
I have a team per division, right? And so the Kings are the best in the Pacific Division for me, right? I hate the Ducks. I hate the Knights. The Sharks, I don't mind. I know you have a blood debt against them.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's more of like peer pressure.
Okay.
To hate them.
They have good teams sometimes.
Yeah, and I like the individual players.
Exactly.
More on the Sharks than anybody. Well, we can't go back too far because of Timu and stuff. But like current Ducks,
They're all CB words.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have any teams that you follow in other divisions? Because I have at least one team per division, and all of my teams suck nuts this year.
No.
No.
Not that I follow. I mean, I do have a soft spot for the Red Wings. I, yeah, always. But I mean, I was rooting for the Capitals, but
After they won, it's like, okay, the story's over.
And now it's
Yep.
like, meh.
That was me with the Blues last. Well, see. So the Wolves used to be the Blues affiliate, so that's how I
Right.
became a Wolves fan, was from liking the Blues. And so after they won the Stanley Cup, I was like, some of the magic's kind of gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I like rooting for that underdog. Like I want them to get the cup, and they do. And it's like, well, whatever.
And I always liked the Blues too, just because they're so similar to the Kings in play style.
Oh yeah.
Before the Kings lost their
Dump,
defense,
chase, high to the corner, people get past them, and then fuck it up and leave it to Jonathan Quick to be like, whoa.
And Quick's back doesn't work anymore, so he can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's been doing this for fucking 10
Yeah.
years. Jesus Christ. You remember we saw It, Chapter 2, and Pennywise, or Chapter 1 of Chapter 2, where he's in the thing, and the refrigerator, it opens, and he falls out, he twists his back, and he twists his legs, that's what he does every night he's in net. And now it's like, oh, Father Time has no mercy.
Speaking of save, did you see that Fleury save?
No. Fuck him.
No, fuck
I like
it
him
was
so
amazing.
much.
And then
He's so good. It's like, fuck.
you should have seen the shot though.
Oh,
Nobody's talking about the shot, and it was this guy on his backhand off of a one-timer backhand shot.
You gotta love it. It's
And,
crazy.
And of course he makes that save, and nobody talks about the shot.
Because the shot didn't make it, that's why. But Fleury's like super fucking nice. Nobody has any unkind things to say about him. Even when he pranks people, they still like him. And it's like, and he also is like one of the greatest like fuck you stories of all time, where the Penguins are like, you're old.
Right.
And he's like, oh really? I am? Well, let me show you what I can do with a bunch of fledglings.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he had to go to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when Seattle, what do they call it? The Rain City Bitch Pigeons. That's my favorite name. So for those of you who don't know, Seattle's getting an NHL expansion team, and so they've been talking about the names. And so the Krakens are very seriously considered. They used to have a team called the Metropolitans, which wouldn't make any sense because there's a Metropolitan division now. But the best one were the Cobains and the Rain City Bitch Pigeons, which would just make me so happy.
Did they settle on one?
Not that I know of. But I haven't been looking for it because it's still kind of a remote
The
thing.
Kraken would be cool.
Yeah.
Out of all of the ones recommended or put out there, it's the only one that's like
a real one.
Yeah.
There were some like sea otters and stuff, but if you spare yourself the Google search, even if you're just a horror person, you don't do hockey, like some really interesting graphic design that went out. And I think it's a smart way of like getting your name out there if you're a graphic designer. So if you could name, Big Feet, Sasquatch, those were a couple. So if you could do a cryptid, what would you do for a hockey team? Doesn't have to be Seattle, so don't stick to PNW.
Oh. What are those the ones that they talk about in the Stephen King
The Wendigo?
not the Wendigo, the ones that are like there that when bad things happen,
Oh, Mothman.
like Mothman, that would be cool. Wait, that might even be like a team.
If I was like a minor league team or whatever.
Yeah, like a minor league team.
Yeah, I have to hand it to the Cleveland Monsters. They had the best superhero specialty jersey I've ever seen, was Captain America. So I've always kind of liked the Cleveland Monsters, and theirs is the little like humps, and it's got the little head kind of poking out, so it is a cryptid basically. I always think that the jackalopes would be good. Did you know that the coyotes were almost the scorpions?
No, that would have been kind of cool.
Kinda. I mean, I like Coyote, but it's just like that first logo they had was so fucking terrible. It was so
The
bad.
one with all the triangles.
Yeah, it was like super southwestern.
Yeah.
It just looks like god awful cock shits. Which is, don't get it twisted, it is a a cock that is shitting, not shit on a cock, just to be sure. So we have about 30 seconds left. If you like this banter, be sure to check out our full episodes. Jim and I are going to be recording an episode on
Gremlins.
which will eventually be found on Spotify, Apple, Google, Spreaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, TuneIn, Radio.com. Oh, Jesus. Just see it. Watch it. Fuck. Listen to it. Yeah.